Hello then everyone, and welcome back to another English lesson. Today we are going to be looking at what happened next in our story when young Arthur was in the woods and he heard a mighty owl. So I shall continue reading. A moment later he was plunged into darkness as a huge black shape bounded over him and disappeared. Arthur quickly clambered up the nearest tree and poked his head over the top of the canopy. That's what's the top, remember, of the forest. Right there, heading straight for his town, was a monstrous black wolf. He could only watch in horror as the wolf put out the great fire before it leapt back into the darkness of the forest. So here are our illustrations. Oops, Daisy, there we go. There's the wolf, and there it is going into town. And here is our illustration of the wolf in the forest. He does not look very happy. And he's pushed over that enormous fire. If you remember, we went way back in time. Mr. Nash's post notes are here again. Mr. Nash, sort your post notes out. That huge fire, just there, he has pushed over. Okay, so today then, what we're going to be doing, almost like a diary, we're going to be writing an eyewitness account of what the townspeople may have seen when the wolf ran in, because remember it's a giant wolf, ran into the town. He's pushed over the town fire. So we are going to be describing what we imagine the townspeople might have seen, and we're going to use an illustration which I will include to help you in your writing.
Okay, today's learning objective is to build narrative, writing through exploring different types of text. And our task is to create an eyewitness account or diary entry. So the things I'm expecting for you to include today, for example, are things that I can see. So from where I stand, I can see so this is written in the present tense here. So if you have chosen to write this from a diary entry, remember that would be past tense. From where I stood, that would become I could see. So just be careful. You can write it as you are watching, as an eyewitness, okay, as you're watching it, or you can write in the past tense in the form of a diary. Adjectives or expanded noun phrases: a great, terrifying, and vicious wolf. Okay, lovely descriptive language. Prepositional phrases would also be really useful because you could maybe explain where you were or where the wolf was when he did certain things. So I've used a prepositional phrase here. Cowering, remember, is like hiding. Cowering behind a weather-beaten barrel, I hid from the great, terrifying, vicious wolf. Also, a nice, even better if, again, we're going for the embedded clause. The wolf, who was prowling around the quickly abandoned town square, licked its lips with glee. Okay, so this is the sort of task I'm expecting. These are the things I expect everyone to try and include. Even better if, remember, that is only for that extra challenge if you want it. That is not for everyone to do. Everyone I expect to use from what you can see, because you're going to see a picture in a second, which is going to be really helpful. I would love to see everyone including adjectives, because I know you all are amazing writers and you can include lots of adjectives. Prepositional phrases would be useful, but if it's too much of a challenge, try to just get your thoughts down. So, here is the great wolf. Oops, Daisy, where does he go? There's the great wolf. I'm going to zoom in. That's why it's not very happy with Mr. Nash. And there he is, pushing over the great fire. There's a chap or a lady down here firing an arrow, and it's already hit the wolf once, which has made the wolf even angrier. A man with a sword. Someone running, fleeing maybe for their life. Some sort of wizard perhaps here. And the fire being pushed over. So what I might do, I'm writing this from an eyewitness account. It might be that this is through some sort of telescope or someone's binoculars. They're hiding far away because they don't want to be attacked by this savage wolf. So I might write this in the form of a diary to help you out to begin with. So I might start with, not 7, I might start here, Dear Diary. In the late afternoon, so I'm using a nice time adverbial here to explain when this happened. In the late afternoon, I heard a distant rumbling and a growling coming from the well. Remember, it was in the woods in the story, from the dark, dense forest. That would be nice because I've used some adjectives already. I've explained where, so I've got prepositional phrase in there, and I've put a time adverbial. In the late afternoon, I heard a distant rumbling and growling coming from the dark, dense forest. I was busily shopping in the town market. What was I buying in the town market? Let's be inventive, Mr. Nash. I don't know. I was looking for some cheese when I suddenly heard a blood-chilling howl! Exclamation mark. Okay, now it's a nice little introduction of what I heard. Okay, and I've created a bit of suspense there, so the person reading my diary is going to think, oh my goodness, what did they hear and what did they see next? So I'm going to start a new paragraph here. Immediately, comma, oh dear, Mr. Nash, what have I done there? Let's sound that out. Immediately. Oh, that's very useful. Sorry, with Microsoft Word. I can always check for spelling mistakes. Immediately, I hid behind the wall of the town library. Full stop. My legs, what can I describe my legs? My legs shook with fear and my teeth chattered. Well, full stop. So what I'm doing there is I'm explaining how I feel and what my body is feeling before I even explain what I see next. Now, I'm not going to do too much more for you here because otherwise I'm going to end up doing all of the work for you and then there won't be a challenge for you. So think about it. You could choose to be one of the characters here. Maybe you're the brave wizard trying to defend the great fire. Maybe you're the brave warrior, the man or the woman down here that's trying to face the wolf. Okay? But choose someone. I'm probably going to be someone that's hiding far away in the distance and observing what I can see, because that is always really, really helpful. It means I'm away from the danger as well, but I'm still watching on. Okay, think about describing this wolf. Look at his face. He does not look like a particularly friendly wolf. His teeth are maybe as sharp as daggers or as spears. His eyes, think about the anger on his face. He looks incredibly angry. What sounds might he be making? Snarling, growling, almost barking. Okay, so think really carefully. Maybe write some ideas down. I think this is what Mrs. Morgan has said to a few people struggling with English. As you look at this on the video, before doing any writing, a really, really good tip is that you plan before you write. Okay, and that is something that's essential in Key Stage 2, is planning and planning and planning. So write down ideas first. Look at his fur. So you might say he's got grey fur that is as grey as something else. His teeth that are as sharp as something else. His claws, don't forget his claws. Think about his shadow. Look here, there's a lady here. Almost looks like she's cuddling her child. Okay, think about everything you can see. Create a spider diagram if you want to around the image. Collect as much information. That's what good writers do. Okay, and then as soon as you've done that, then I suggest that you begin to write. So take your time on this. I'm expecting realistically at least 10 sentences, and I'm expecting this to take at least half an hour worth of work. So if it's done in 5 minutes, it's probably going to be a bit too rushed. It probably won't be the same quality that you'd do in school. Okay, try your absolute best. You're doing super jobs at home. Keep this up, and I look forward to seeing your wonderful eyewitness accounts. Thank you so much for joining me again, and I will see you soon. Thanks guys, bye then.